I've had quite a number of people ask for lilacs and butterflies, so let's do both in this painting. I'm taking some yellow and white, and I'm even going to take some really light yellowish green and do sideways strokes up to the one corner, down to the other, and do a nice background for this, and then dry it really, really good. Then taking a round brush with some green, I'm going to do just some strokes out from the bottom right corner. These are going to be your stems. Making sure they start in the corner and then spreading them out towards the top just to make sure you're going to have enough room for each flower. Now lilacs, I like to use hot pink, purple, and some white with a sea sponge. This is all about layers today. I'm going to take some dark purple first and just bounce in on the tip of my stem. One shape of a lilac. Notice how it is thicker towards the stem and almost goes to a rounded point at the top. You don't want them to be too big. I would start on the smaller side and then get larger. I've had people go overboard with this and it turns into one big flower. So keep them on the ends and then extend them out. Then without washing the sponge, I'm going to dip into the hot pink and I'm going to layer it over top. I'm not going to go over the entire thing, but notice how I layered it over top of the purple so the purple is still showing towards the bottom. This also acts like a shadow, and I'm going to do that up every single lilac just like that. They're already starting to look three-dimensional. There we go. And then the white is what ties it all in, so you can shape them a little bit more, but as the highlight, I'm just going to take some white and highlight over the top. I'm doing the same thing like I did with the pink, but I'm not going over it quite as much because you want to see those colors through the white. There we go. That's an easy way to do lilacs. Then taking my round brush again, I'm going to add a few leaves. I'm only going to do 2 or 3 and then fill them in with that dark green. You could use the fan brush trick for this one too, but I like to be a little bit more specific with them. And then going in with some of that light green from the background, I'm going to highlight those little leaves there. And don't forget the stems. The more highlights, the more three-dimensional they will look. I'm even going to take a little bit of white on my brush, and let's add some highlights to the leaves and to the stems as well. Now I want to put them in like a glass jar, so I'm going to take some white paint and do a wide oval around the stems. And then on the outside edges, I'm going to do some lines curved in towards the stems and then out, so it's going off the picture. And then some white expression strokes on the inside of the jar to make it look round. Now, there we go. Let's do a butterfly wing. I'm going to do the wings in white first, so I'm doing like a teardrop shape, but at the tip on the right-hand side, I'm going to do a dent. You see that? It looks like I put a dent in the teardrop. That's the first part of the wing, and then fill that in with white. Then on the bottom side, I'm going to do like a half circle, but that also has a dent towards the middle, and fill that in as well. And then up at the top, I'm going to do another teardrop with a dent in it on the right side coming off of that first wing to make it look like it's behind it, and then dry it. Because they are white, you can fill them in with whatever color you want. Then I'm going to do an orange base for this butterfly, and then pick a secondary color with some white on your brush and do some expression strokes like this going up towards the tip of each of the wings like that. The more white you have, the more highlighted it looks. And I did them with the curve of the wing in mind. Now with a detail brush and some black paint, I'm going to do a body and outline the insides of the wings this time. Keeping with the curves of the wing, I'm going to do shading on the part where it's closest to the body, and don't forget the parts on the outside towards the tips of the wings. And it looks like I'm kind of messing it up, but you do need this for definition. I also like to go back in with some white, especially over some of the thicker black strokes. You can even do some random white strokes in the wings as well to make them look highlighted. The more layers, the better. I'm even going to make the body a little bit thicker black so I can add some white highlights in there as well. You need to define the wings a little bit more. Don't forget antenna. And I know some people are going to be like, where's his feet? So I'm going to give him a couple little legs holding on to the flower. There we go. Let's even add some thicker black perfect. All right, and even more detail, you can add polka dots all over the wings. I've seen people do extra stripes or even geometric shapes. Look at different pictures of a butterfly and try to paint your own design too. I've seen so many different cool ones, but that's a basic one. Now let's see, I can't really see this jar, so I'm gonna add some gray paint for shading. And I don't know what these are called. I guess they're little trails, like when you see a butterfly flying around, this is the trail he leaves. So I'm gonna do a whole bunch of little trail dots in white on the outside around him. And there is an easy spring painting of lilacs and a butterfly. Have fun, make it your own, add your own colors. I would love to see how you do.